Harley would agree to Frederick as a name for the baby.
I don't know, you have to ask her.
I mean, but as an uncle, I mean, would you object to it?
Well, why would I object?
Because, I mean, I made the same offer to Danny and Michelle, and they laughed at me. I mean, even Maida thinks Frederick's a stupid name. Why is that? I think Frederick's a great name.
Well, if you think it's so great, why do you go like Rick? That's all right. Let's practice here for a second. We'll see. Pretend the baby's right here.
Okay.
Here, Fred. Here, little Freddy. Here, little Freddy.
See, Fred's what you name a horse, Frank. Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of Little Ricky. Little Ricky.
So, when's Philip due back from San Cristobal?
Go ahead, just burst the bubble, you big gorilla. A couple weeks, I guess. No, tomorrow, 2 days.
Well, so when he finally does come back, you are going to tell him, both of you, right?
The sooner we get this over with, Frank, the better. I mean, you know, as bad as I feel about what we did to Philip, I mean, Harley and the baby have got to come first, Frank.
Amen to that. But the second that Philip finds out that he has offspring on the way, he's going to start dictating terms.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the guy's fanatical about his progeny and the exes who conceived them. Well, one ex.
Buzz, he didn't go to San Cristobal to be with his ex. He went there to get his kids out of there.
How much do you want to bet he brings Beth back with him? I mean, he's obsessed with that woman. She and her 2 children mean a lot more to him than Harley and Zach ever did, and that includes the baby that's coming. You watch.
Yeah, well, you know...
And meanwhile, here we have Rick standing by Harley through good times and bad. I mean, being like, what, a motherlode of love and support. You know, I think that Harley has it backwards. She should have kept Philip as a friend and married you. And I even thank you for being such a good friend of my daughter.
She makes it very easy, Buzz.
Oh, buddy, it's hogwash. She's a pain in the patootie, and you know it.
Yeah, I know, but she's so good at it.
You know, if her baby has half the feistiness that she has, it's going to come out with boxing gloves on.
Well, Buzz, I'm going to let you know, because guess who's the birthing coach?
You're kidding.
What? Hold on here. What, you volunteered?
No, Harley asked me.
You're going to be in the delivery room?
No, you betcha. You know, counting the contractions, feeding ice chips, the whole 9 yards.
Getting sworn at, getting hit at.
All for a good cause, Frankie.
Philip's going to be there?
Well, I doubt that.
Well, so you're going to witness the miracle of childbirth, and he's going to be relegated to walking in the hall? He's not going to accept that.
Well, he doesn't have a choice right now, Buzz. I mean, if Harley wants him to be there, I guess he will be there.
When has Philip ever cared about what Harley wants? I mean, come on, I know the man. He'll insist on seeing his own flesh and blood coming into this world. Any man would.
Hold on one second. Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves here? First of all, Philip's got to get back into town, and Harley has to tell him, and then they both have to work out the details.
I wish there was somebody to keep Philip out of the picture all together, you know. Once he's a part of this thing, you know he's going to find some way to mess it up.
No, he won't, Buzz, because I'm not going to let him.
You vindictive piece of slime.
Oh, here go the hormones.
You set me up. You set me up? You went out of your way to tell the DA that you tried to get me off that Santos case?
You refused. I didn't have to tell the DA anything.
But you
it's all in the
did.
paperwork.
You told her exactly what questions to ask. You probably told her exactly how to ask them. You had her accuse me of impropriety on the record. On my record. Because I dared to cross you.
You know something? To me, the possibility of an investigating officer conspiring with the defense, besides making me sick, is very relevant.
Really? Maybe I should go back in there and I should tell her all about your little bias,
You know, you
Aitoro.
burnt me once before on the bail hearing. You think I'd ever give you a chance to do that to me again? No.
Special Agent Aitoro, you're up.
Thank you. Take everything so personal, Cooper.
Okay, great. That's perfect. Tell me that wasn't about Gus.
It wasn't about Gus. It wasn't. I was making phone calls for Ross. He's looking for an assistant. I'm just trying to help him out so he can spend more time with me and the kids.
Yeah, so you can feel better about helping Gus.
And who says I'm still helping Gus?
You don't have to say it to me. I know. I saw the way you looked at Gus when Ross was reading him the riot act.
All right. I know where you're going with this. And hear me, Mom. I have the most wonderful man on this planet. I love Ross more than I have ever loved anything. He's my heart. He's my home.
A home that you don't feel worthy of.
Now, why do you insist that I can't handle my happiness?
Maybe because I never could handle mine.
Mom, I'm not you.
I know you're not me, but you're my daughter. And I never showed you what it was like to be normal, to have a normal, happy, healthy home life. Not for any length of time, really.
You did the best you could, all right? You loved me. Ross has shown me the rest. Ross has shown me normal. He's shown me love. I'm smart enough to know what I have, and I'm not going to let anybody, especially Gus Aitoro, get in the way of that. I promise.
I hope you're right. Make sure you're right. I don't want you to lose what you have.
Sometimes you sound like you've lost all hope, and that's just not true.
Hope. Hope. I have plenty of hope. I'm so late for that interview. Honey, I gotta go.
Mom,
I'll skip the
Mom.
Stay away from Gus. Don't go looking for trouble.
I'm not looking for trouble, Mom. I just have to know what Gus knows. I have to. How long have you been investigating the criminal activities of the Santos family?
I've been working on this case for 4 years out of Chicago, and about 9 months ago, we moved the investigation here to Springfield.
But you weren't able to arrest Danny Santos until now. Was there not enough evidence?
No, we had evidence. I had enough evidence on Danny Santos and his entire family, but I had it stolen. It was stolen out of my office, right out of the police station.
Stolen out of your office. What did you do?
Well, I had no other choice but to start from scratch. I started my investigation from scratch. I initiated surveillance at Danny Santos's home, at his in-laws. My subordinate, Detective Cooper, planted a bug at the Bauer house.
And did that surveillance yield to any useful information?
Yes, it did. I overheard conversations between Danny Santos and his wife about Carmen Santos. Now, you have to understand that at this point in time, I am under the impression that Carmen Santos died a year earlier, gunned down by a rival family. But as I listened to the conversations more and more, I got a very different impression.
What impression was that?
Well, it was my belief that Carmen Santos actually survived her first death, only to be murdered later by her son, Danny. What kind of a sick, twisted mind lives inside of a person that can murder his mother? Listen to me, people. I have seen the worst that this world has to offer. And I'm sorry to bring my own personal emotions into this, but when something this heinous occurs, you know, even I have my limits.
So you pursued your suspicion that Danny killed his mother?
Yes, I had to prove that Carmen died the way I thought that she died, so I acquired Carmen Santos's ashes. And after forensics tests, my suspicions were correct. They weren't Carmen Santos's ashes. They were not even human ashes. They were actually ashes of a large dog.
What did you do then?
Well, I questioned Dr. Claire Ramsey. Dr. Claire Ramsey is the mother of Michelle Santos. Dr. Claire Ramsey signed off on the death certificate and the order of cremation for Carmen Santos. Claire Ramsey was acting nervous, and she changed her story a lot, and I later found out that she actually forged the death certificate. She was actually the one that substituted the ashes for Carmen Santos with the dog ashes. And that was when I got my big break in this case. I got an anonymous tip that a body of a woman was dumped in the lake. And I had my dive team retrieve that body, and we were able to make a positive ID through dental records.
Whose body was it, Special Agent Aitoro?
The body that we got out of the lake was Carmen Santos.
And did you perform a autopsy on Mrs. Santos?
Yes, we did.
And what did the coroner state as the cause of death?
The victim died from a gunshot wound. We retrieved the slug from the skeleton.
And do you have the weapon from which that bullet was fired?
Ballistics has made a perfect match between the gun and the bullet.
Whose murder weapon was that?
The murder weapon belongs to Danny Santos.
I never thought Buzz was going to stop going on and on and on about the baby.
Oh, you and me both.
I just can't stand lying like this, Frank. It's driving me nuts.
You don't have to wait much longer, buddy.
You know what, Frank? It doesn't matter at this point. I mean, Harley and I have waited so long to tell Philip the truth. It doesn't matter. He's going to see it when he gets back.
What if we just tell him that maybe she ate a small house?
Why, but why? Why doesn't she want to tell him the truth?
She will. She will.
But we can't throw ourselves into being parents, Frank, until that happens. But she's coming around on a couple of things. I mean, this birthing coach thing. I mean, that's a major step.
It is, Major. It is. I mean, well, you are the logical choice to help her.
I mean, I am the dad. I should be the logical choice. I'm going to have a kid, Frank. A little boy, no less. Do you have any idea how long I've waited for this?
You're a good man, Rick. You know, I hope you get everything you've always wanted.
Well, Frank, you never know what's down the road. Life is full of surprises, right? But the bottom line is this. Harley needs somebody for her to take care of her and this child, and we both know that someone's going to be me.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Why would Harley need you to help her take care of her baby? What's going on?
Well, that is it for Danny Santos.
And you are so proud of yourself, aren't you?
You know, it is a rare and beautiful thing when you work so long and hard and everything just comes together and sort of crystallizes and the world just sort of falls at your feet, you know.
Minus this cluster of molecules.
You know something, Cooper? This is the first time in 4 years that I'm happy.
How pathetic is that?
So I want to enjoy it, okay? And if you can't muster up a little enthusiasm, why don't you just get out of my face? Go make somebody else depressed, will you?
You don't even see the irony here, do you? You are so self-absorbed that you don't get it. You just had the DA accuse me on record of having a personal bias in this case. And here you are practically jumping for joy because you think you got yourself an indictment. You call that professional?
I worked long and hard
You have
for this
been
victory.
obnoxiously overzealous for this. So much so that a bigwig over at Justice had to call you and tell you you better back off. But did you? No. No, you go right back to being you. What is this personal vendetta you have against Danny Santos?
Oh, yeah, why would I want to bring down a guy who's a murderer? Kills his own mother. Why? Oh, yeah, because it's my job. That's right, it's my job.
You're the one with the obsession here. You're the one who takes this case way too personally. And I intend to find out why and stop you before you do any more damage.
What, a threat? A threat?
You think you're a pit bull? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
What's going on with Harley and her baby that I don't know?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So why were you all very secretive until I came over here?
Oh, well, we're not being secretive, Blake. I was just telling Rick that I felt bad for my sister because she had to, raise 3 children all by herself. See you later, Rick. We gotta get going.
And I was just agreeing with Frank because the fact is, we're all going to pitch in, and Harley has nothing to worry about, right, Frank?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That's it.
Yep.
So why were you whispering?
Because we saw you sitting over there in what appeared to be a very important phone call. We didn't want to disturb you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, I have to say, Blake, you know, if you keep conducting business here at company, Dad's got to start charging you rent.
Oh, well, it wasn't my business. It was Ross's business I'm conducting. He's looking for an associate, and I'm just getting the ball rolling for him, so. Anybody know of a bright young attorney who needs a job?
No. Or anything. But I'll tell you what, we'd be more than happy to keep our ears open for you.
Please do. I need to find somebody fast. You know, my kids haven't seen him in about a week. Jason asked me this morning if Daddy still lives with us. And speaking of kids, about Harley...
Something just occurred to me, Frank. I just figured out why Ross is spending so much time away from the house.
Why is that?
Because you're driving him out of his mind.
All right. You two are keeping something from me. I know it.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe you should just mind your own business?
Well, maybe... No, can't do that. But I'll tell you what. If you don't want to share with me, just fine. I'll get Harley to spill.
She's a nutcase, Frankie. Do you see what I'm up against? Do you see it? I'm getting out of here before I have to lie to anybody else.
Things are just getting worse.
Say that again.
You know, to get back at me, Aitoro set me up with the grand jury.
What?
Yes.
How's that?
He coached Doris Wolf to ask me these questions to make it look like I was biased, like I lied at Danny's hearing so that he'd get bail because of our personal relationship.
Well?
No, I didn't lie. I just answered truthfully, that's all.
Yeah, well, whatever.
You're in a good mood.
No, I'm sorry. It's just that Rick was just here, and you asked him to be your birthing coach?
Is that what he told you?
Well, it's kind of the impression I got. Yeah, you know, this guy is, like, really attached to this baby, I think.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I want him to feel a part of this. I don't want to shut him out.
I understand that, but I think he's getting a different message. Like he has very high hopes for the future, and you're feeding directly into it.
Hopes such as?
Such as the two of you raising this baby together as a couple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew about that because he's already proposed to me twice.
He's done what?
Yeah, but he didn't mean it. It wasn't like that. It was just Rick trying to be a good guy. It was Rick doing the good guy thing. You know how he is, and he doesn't see us that way. He knows that, you know, we're not like that. We love each other, but we're not in love with each other.
Just do me a favor, okay? Please don't encourage him. I honestly believe that he loves you, and he really loves this baby. But he's really determined to take care of both of you, whether you like it or not.
I know. You wanted me to meet you here to tell you to stop twitching.
You could thank my boss for that. Gus, the twitch maker, Aitoro.
Uh-huh.
I hate it when you like that.
Just wondering how you're feeling. How's your pregnancy going?
Pregnancy's fine. I'm feeling fine.
Harley, if there's anyone that knows what kind of a strain it is to carry a child and not tell the father that there is one, it's me.
No, you are definitely president of the Been There, Done That Club.
Yes, so please take my advice. Tell the truth. Sweetie, I know that this pregnancy was a very big surprise.
Yeah.
But you're driving your family crazy.
My family?
Yeah, I was in here a couple hours ago, and I overheard Frank and Buzz and Rick. And guess who they were talking about?
Really? Well, how much of it did you hear?
Enough to know that all the secretive business with the babies, just eating them up. I know that Philip has his faults, but nobody can accuse him of being a bad father.
Well, that's true.
So why are you keeping him in the dark?
It's complicated.
I know. It always is with babies. You should have seen Rick. He was so sweet about this kid. He was so intense. It's a shame he couldn't be the father. It'd make things so much easier. Ew, or twice as complicated.
Blakey, boy, you fell right into the trap.
What trap?
Of listening to anything that my father and Frank and Rick have to say when they're together.
Honey, they care about you. They're worried.
Because they have no lives of their own. Are any of them dating a woman at this moment? No. So what do? They form a club and they chew over my life. I'm their hobby.
But they did not make the don't tell Daddy part about it up.
No, they didn't. But they're blowing the whole thing out of proportion, which is standard operating procedure for them when they're talking about me.
Okay, so tell me, why don't you just talk to me?
Because I just don't want to get into it. That's
why
all.
not?
Because it's not the reason that I asked you to come down here today.
You're holding back on me. That's okay. That's your right. I just hope that when it's time to let the truth fly, you let it fly with me.
Can we move on now?
Okay?
Okay. The reason that I asked you to come down here is because I want to give you a heads up about someone that I think is perhaps the worst boss in recorded history, first of all.
Could this be Gus Aitoro by any chance?
Listen to me. The man is planning to squeeze you until you cough up the name of your infamous book source, Selena.
Did he tell you that?
No, he doesn't have to. I know this guy's M.O. If it has anything to do with the Santoses, he will get on it and he will stay on it until he milks it for every bit of information that he can get. Bringing down this family is everything. I mean, he has nothing else in his life.
I know, he's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he can just squeeze me all he wants. He's not going to get a peep till you and I figure out how we're going to deal with him.
Okay, here's my suggestion. Run as fast as you can in the other direction.
Nope. I have a better idea on how to deal with Gus Aitoro.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was afraid of.
I can handle Gus Aitoro.
So can I. I have worked with him for months. Blake, the man is a steamroller. You get in his way and he will crush you.
Yes, but I have something that he wants, which will make him deal with me fair and square.
Deal? Okay, what kind of deal are you looking for here?
He gives me solid information that I can fictionalize into my next book. And I give him the source for my last one.
Give up Selena?
It's a plan.
Blake, you were supposed to protect her identity. You're going to hand her over to the FBI now?
I don't necessarily have to give him her name. I can just say that she was Miguel Santos's lover. Besides, Gus is going to find out it was Selena all on his own.
You don't know that.
Are you kidding me, honey? Half of Springfield saw me working with her personally on a daily basis. You know, it's just going to be a matter of time before he figures that out and squeezes the name out of somebody else. I mean, your father was ranting and raving about Selena the day that I brought the copy of the book to him.
Yeah, I heard about that little
Okay,
incident.
so if Gus is bound to hit on Selena by himself eventually, why not get something out of it?
You know what? Truthfully, I don't care if Gus goes after Selena.
You don't?
No, because Selena made her own bed. You know, you swim with sharks, and she tore my father apart in the process. The man still hasn't gotten over her. See, and that's what scares me about your deal.
Because
you're going to get Aitoro all fired up about Selena. He's going to find out that Selena and my dad were together. Then he's going to go after my father to get whatever information he can, which could really drive my father over the edge. And I can't let that happen. I just cannot let that happen, Blake. So you want to ask me what I think about you making a deal with Gus Aitoro? I say don't.
Selena is not the only one that hurt Buzz. So did I. So trust me, the last thing I want to do is cause Buzz more pain.
Where did that road lead? The one that was paved with all the good intentions? Oh, right. Hell. That's right.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Gus stays away from Buzz.
Except forget about this deal.
Okay, this deal can protect Buzz.
How?
By keeping Gus occupied.
Uh-huh. With you.
Of course, if I make Gus believe that I am the only one who knows the identity of my source, is going to have to keep coming back to me.
So, You really feel like you can keep him focused on you?
Oh, honey, I will make a point of it.
Okay. You know what, Blake? You do your deal. Really, do it. But if I find out that this man gave my father 1 second of grief, I'm going to hold you personally responsible, and it won't be pretty.
Don't worry. It's gonna be okay.
Just be careful. I mean that. This Aitoro is not stupid. The man has bullied whoever he needed to build this case against Danny. And it's not about professional dedication. It's not about good versus evil. No, this thing that he has with the Santoses, it's personal. It's an obsession. Don't let him suck you into it, Blake. You may not be able to get back out. And I have to go. I'm gonna call you.
Oh, relax, Harley. I can handle Gus Aitoro with both hands tied behind my back.
Yeah. Let's give that a try, shall we?